with the flowers around the outside? Bomber Harris. No, we're not going to be able to stop it, I don't think, Tom, because of the traffic. But there's Tom's favourite building, ladies and gentlemen. On the left, the Palace of Justice, the Law Courts. Happy you've seen it? All right, good, good. Can't stop. Church of Oranges and Lemons on our right. Now also on our right, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment or two, you're going to see a little shop with two Chinamen sitting above the doorway. Twining's Tea on the right. There. A Temple Bar ahead of us. Once we pass that, we're in Fleet Street, the home of the national newspaper industry, or it used to be. Sadly now they've all moved on. Service is Church of England or Anglican. You're welcome and invited to attend the service. In front of the church you will see a statue of Queen Anne. Married life. Anne had 17 in Westminster Abbey. They had to knock a doorway out to get her coffin in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a great Englishman, the stories of him are a legion. Because it may weigh 280, but she certainly doesn't look it. There she is, look, in front of the church, coming up on our left. There is St. Paul's on the left. Beautiful. Providing there's not a service in progress, you can photograph in there at any time. Unlike Westminster Abbey, where you're not allowed to photograph. Now as we make our way deeper into the heart of the city, we'll see the Financial Times building, then that Australian history. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we will reach the Mansion House, the home of the Lord Mayor of the City of London. But I'm sure you've noticed also that we are cleaning the cities. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you have any money to spare, but if you have, and you're thinking maybe you'd like to invest in this country, could I suggest Mansion House there on the right, behind the scaffolding, Bank of England here on the left, and the Royal Exchange ahead of us. Now, if you're going to make this investment, folks, you're going to need to put your money in a bank before you think about, where it goes. We'll make a final decision. Lots of good banks in London, but there is one you do not put your money in if you've got any sense at all. It's the Moscow Bank, because they're always in the red. They're always in the red. Lots of them. We'd finished with it. We don't care. But just before we get onto the bridge, you'll see the monument to the Great Fire. And there at the base is Charles II, that merry monarch of ours. He was the king, remember, who once said, "I want to be the father to my people." And he tried. By George, did he try. 9 girlfriends, 17 illegitimate children that we know of. And they were just from the official mistresses. How many more? Who knows? But he's there reaching out to the City of London, depicted by what else but an attractive young lady. Had there been no damsels in distress to rescue, would you bother to turn up? Who knows? Who cares? Nice story. Tower Bridge. So don't rush, we're going to stop. So we'll go very, very slowly by. Start looking to your left and you'll see the monument. Now, Tower Bridge, ladies and gentlemen, which we're going to look at in a moment or two, was built between 1880s. Your time, we're going to stop. There's plenty of time. Now those bascules, ladies and gentlemen, they weigh there the bits that go across the bottom, they open up to our ships in and out of London. They weigh 1,000 tons each. But it takes just a minute and a half, 90 seconds to raise and 90 seconds to lower them. Thinking the bridge would be open for hours on end, they put the towers either side with those walkways between, so people could walk up, across and down the other side. But there are something like, in 1939, fired the first shots as the Allies went back into Normandy in 1944. Then saw service in the Korean War and is now a very good floating museum. Sorry? The name of which? Belfast. As in Ireland. HMS Belfast, a cruiser. So, ladies and gentlemen, to your ways. But if you are a little bit squeamish, a little bit nervous, don't go. Some of these models are so horrifyingly real, they can be quite upsetting, just the 6 times. Which also means he had 6 father-in-laws, you see. They don't think about that, do they? Mother-in-laws, I should say. Mother-in-laws. Time to take her neck off, her head off her neck, off her shoulders, there. Yes, folks, the ravens. And the legend goes that if the ravens leave the tower will fall. So just to make sure the ravens never fly away, they were superstitious in days gone by. They used to clip their wings to keep them there. I mean, that's 300 years ago when people were superstitious. Does it matter today? No, of course it doesn't. Just in case, though. Just in case. We still clip the wings of the ravens so they don't fly. Coming up to the left, ladies and gentlemen, a nice view across the river, and we'll go out. There's a bar on board. Good way to go. And then takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and then come back by train, quicker by train, back to Charing Cross. Spend a day in Greenwich without any trouble at all. Story. There you see, flying from the top of the tower, our national flag, the Union Jack. And that's where it all started. Different matter. People turned up in their thousands, brought the whole family, made a day of it, brought the picnic basket, sat there eating their sandwiches, drinking their wine. Red, of course, because, I mean, if the blood spilt in it, sort of, you got white wine, it takes the edge of it. But everybody had a great time, and we'll show you the public execution spot as well. But now as we reach the centre of the bridge, so if you want a good photograph of London Bridge, away to the left. Now, we're ahead to the Tower of London. And of course the entry to the famous Traitor's Gate. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we will drop down into Lower Thames Street, and we'll pass alongside Billingsgate Market. This is where for over 1200 years you could obtain fresh fish and foul language from. But they've now moved on. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute or two. But there on the left, ladies and gentlemen, a must to visit the Tower of London. See where the moat used to be around it, being drained off. And also a little bit more of Roman London, part of the wall that used to go around the city. The Roman bit is the bottom bit with the red line of tile running through it. That's through the trees, coming up on the right-hand side. Through the trees to the right, the old Roman wall. There. To the left, look across the walls, you see a little building with white cornerstones. That's the chapel of St. Peter and Vincula, where the royal bodies are laid to rest. And ahead of us to the right, that little arch building, that's the memorial to the merchant service. At the end of it, there is a tree. Look past the tree, down onto the ground, and there's a little chained-off square, the public execution spot. Coming up, look, on the right, now, there it is. The old Victorian building down at Long Beach, California, isn't it? Yeah. This one is an old River Clyde ferry. It's now been taken over by the Court. There is the City of London. And even with those awful looking office buildings, the skyline is still dominated by the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral. But look across to just above the front of the white ship, ladies and gentlemen. Look above the trees. Can you see that lovely little church going up in the spire, going up in steps there? See it? Yes?
Yeah.
What does it remind you of?
Leaning Tower.
Leaning Tower? No. Wedding cake. Absolutely right, sir. 200 years ache you're going to have. You've now seen the original. It's known as the Wedding Cake Church to the people of London. So that's the City of London to your left. To your left was Needle, our oldest outdoor memorial. Dates from about 1500 BC, so it's about 3,500 years old. Then the new building with the archway is the Charing Cross Railway Station. Then the building with the white towers and black turrets is Whitehall Court, designed in the 1800s by a very eccentric architect named Alfred Waterhouse. Then the white building with the green roof is part of the Air Ministry, the Ministry of Defence. And then beyond that, two of the brown buildings with the rounded looking turrets, that is the old Scotland Yard. Attached to the Comedy Theatre, or sometimes known as the Gasworks, or sometimes known as the Houses of Parliament, which is where every 5 years we elect and send those 650 idiots who make the laws that govern. Evil looking thing here. I did this tour this morning and a lady got off in the end of it. She said, Colin, I thoroughly enjoyed it. She said, but can I give you a bit of advice? I said, yes, of course you can. Listen to any advice. She said, please, be more decisive, man in charge of the works. Everybody agreed it did, so they called it Big Ben after him. True or not? Don't know. Nice story. As we go around the one-way system, coming up on the right-hand side, these two blocks of buildings are part of Shellmex, the big oil people, and they're known as the window cleaners' nightmares. They're green to start. If not, I mean every last plastic word of it. But when we get to the Houses of Parliament, you'll see a row of them. Remember Boadicea back in Lusso, it's 502 years old. Around Parliament Square, Whitehall, the street of government offices, and we'll pass Downing Street, which of course is, bless you, who sneezed? Yes folks, we'll pass Downing Street, the home of the British Prime Minister, and of course it was there just over a year or so ago, that we had a major change. Major change, come on! On our left, Westminster Abbey. I'll get a better view of it in a moment or two. See the dirty bit behind us and you'll see how clean it will be. As we go around the square, Churchill is ahead of us to the right, at Whitehall. St Margaret's, Westminster, right alongside the Abbey. There is the Abbey to the left. As we bear to the right, at midnight at 6 a.m, Honest Abe sits down and takes the weight off of his feet. They're very, very well worth a visit, particularly, of course, if you're a World War II buff. Wonderful, you feel the old man down there. Then we'll pass the Cenotaph, where we have the service of memorial every year for the dead ones. Cenotaph on our right, look. To the right now, where the children are outside, look. But now you need your cameras ready to the left when we reach Whitehall, the street of government office, the lifeguards. Now tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, don't tell the company I told you this, but cancel any tours. Tomorrow is Trooping the Colour Day. The great military pageant where you'll see the Queen, Prince Philip. It starts at 11, but you need to be along the Mall about 9 o'clock. Along 10, and the Queen comes down at 10 minutes to 11. Along the Mall, you can see the flags up there. There's the palace in the background, but you need to be a bit further up. Okay? Not this, right this very end. Nothing happens this end. A bit further up. Okay, about halfway. Good spot. You're the directors. To our right, the statue of Florence Nightingale, the lady, the Club for Writers and Men of Science. Drop-offs as we go round, and this is where we start doing the drop-offs at Berkeley Street. Their friends are going back to the Forum. If they're going back, Seymour Street and then back to the depot. That's all they insist on is just the collar and tie. Think about it, fellas, you could cause a sensation by having tea at the Ritz. Now for our friends for the Forum, if you get the underground here, it's the Green Park, Piccadilly line, it's about 3 stops through to Gloucester Road, okay? You got Forum and Forum, yeah. So we drop you here, folks, underground straight away, unless you're staying up here. '71.